Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on the TNA results for this week, last week, next week. And here we go with the results. But we'll go off with some news first. Chris Sabin had his head stitched up as a result of an errant hit during the Ultimate X match for the X Division Championship at Slammiversary. The TNA wrestling officials were pleased with the outcome of Slammiversary. Company President Dixie Carter stated the following on her Twitter. So proud of every single member of TNA. What a great Slammiversary pay-per-view. Top to bottom, thanks to the best of fans in the world, best to come. Unquote. Prior to his match against Kurt Angle at Slammiversary, AJ Styles debuted a new theme song called Evil Ways Justice Mix by Blues Saraceno. Audio of the theme song is available at the link that I will post right here. At Slammiversary, it was announced that Kurt Angle would be the second inductee into the TNA Hall of Fame, taking place during the Bound for Glory weekend in October. Through Twitter, fellow TNA legend Jeff Jarrett congratulated the Olympic gold medalist on the honor. Congratulations to the one and only at Real Kurt Angle for being inducted to the TNA Hall of Fame. As Jeff Jarrett wrote, inside the ring, there's never been anybody better. The official YouTube account of TNA Wrestling has released post-Slammiversary footage that features Sting being assisted to the backstage area by two referees after being struck with a hammer by Bully Ray to conclude the no-holds-barred World Heavyweight Championship main event. Video showed Sting being carried to the back. TNA officials originally planned for Abyss and Joseph Park to appear in the same segment on previous week's episode of Impact Wrestling. At one point, plans were called for Abyss to come out during the segment where Devon worked over Joseph Park in the ring. There was someone at the taping set to portray Abyss, but the plan was dropped at last minute. Matt Morgan addressed his infamous rant on the internet wrestling community in a tweet. Ricky McBride 3 at Ricky Raff at BP. Matt Morgan, as an internet nerd, I approve of your nerd comment. I was LMAO. Matt Morgan stated at Ricky Raff, either way, that the guy back in 2006-2007, when it looked to be shot, was a drug-addicted, immature douchebag. Grateful to be sober today, as he said. Mickey James landed a Dr. Pepper deal advertising in commercials, possibly for horses, and it was revealed that she did have a contract with Dr. Pepper on TNA Impact. Hulk Hogan continued to tease that he wants to wrestle again, even going as far as saying he'd like to be TNA champion. Bully Ray stated that while doing media for Slammiversary, that after he finished with Sting, he was aiming for a program with Hogan. And the Hulkster wrote the following on his Twitter: perfect timing to start serious training again. Last time around the block for me. Well, this is going to be real intense transformation time. Double H. UK star Mark Hansen set the record straight on his TNA injury. His current injury, Pro Wrestling Goals, from June the 10th, 2013 at 11 a.m. .net staffer Darren Gutridge conducted the following interview with former TNA and current UK independent star, who appeared on the Fight Club Pro show in Wolverhampton, England on May 24th. The latest on the company, follow them on Twitter at Fight Club Pro. Darren Gutridge said, "You worked for several wrestling companies over the weekend in the UK. Do you enjoy working for the wide variety of companies in this country now that you're back home? Working in different cities every night with different guys?" And Mark says, "Yeah, absolutely. I'm really fortunate that I get to do something I love as a living and be able to travel as much as I do. There are a lot of talented guys in this country, and I'm not the only one who thinks that the UK is the hotbed for talent. Being able to compete on shows with guys who are as talented as they are is a real privilege." And then Darren asked him, "You injured your ankle at South So I had wrestling this past Saturday. What happened? Is it serious? And Mark says, I think I tweaked my ankle near the start of the match. It's hard to tell as often as you get back with the aches, pains, bumps, and bruises that you have no idea how you ended up with them. Chris Travis and I fell to the outside of the ring after a suplex over the ropes, and that's when it really started to hurt. It feels better already. I must have just twisted it. It just meant that I lost out on a show the following day. Years ago, I might have tried to wrestle the day after, but at this time of point in my career, I'd rather take the time to heal up. And Darren asked him in 2011-2012, you worked for TNA. How was the experience of going to America for you? And he comments by saying, it was a really eye-opening time and great chance to learn and further my name in the pro wrestling business. Having been part of TNA and pay-per-views in Japan, it was a learning experience to see how larger American company films in comparison. Having the chance to speak to some of the biggest names in history of the business was great as well. I learned a lot. How disappointed was he in how he ended up with TNA after several months of inactivity due to his injury? Do you think a lack of ring time is what led to your departure? And Mark comes back with a comment. Well, for one, I was never injured. I suffered a minor concussion at the Wembley area taping when a shooting star press went wrong. It was reported I'd injured my neck, but which couldn't be further than the truth. I was fine. I was back to wrestling on live events in the UK just days later. How my departure with TNA came about was really due to the timing of live events. My contract had been signed, was too close to our due date for us to relocate, as the United States had certain laws on childbirth. It would have been illegal for our son to be born in America. Henceforth, why I had to stay home and wasn't prepared to miss his birth. I told those in charge and suggested a date that I could relocate. By then, I was informed that I would be released from my contract and they could hold my contract for that length of time. 2 days afterwards, I'd been informed of my release. British Boot Camp was announced. Of course, I'm gutted that I didn't go further there, make a bigger name for myself, or still remain there. But I feel like what I learned is so valuable to how I do certain things now. And he said, Darren asked him, is it your ultimate goal to move back to America and work for a major company, or are you more than happy to work in the UK and be at home with your son? My goal, maybe commented back, as successful as possible in the professional wrestling business. If the opportunity to sign for a major promotion abroad were to arise, then I'd love to. However, my family are my main priority. You also worked for Dragon Gate in Japan recently. Did you suffer a culture shock over there? Definitely. The time I spent in Japan, a huge learning experience. Professionally and personally, foreign country I had been to before was in Europe, where a large percentage of people can speak English, and in some places certain words are similar. In Japan, the language is totally different, and at times it felt like almost no one spoke English, unless they were part of a Dragon Gate roster. That was great. Seeing the sights, traveling the roads, learning Japan's history, etc., etc., etc. I loved my time out there. He was asked me, did he enjoy adapting to his style to work in both America and Japan? Or did you try to stick as close to your British wrestling style as possible? Comments back. Wrestling can be confusing at times. Sometimes you try to adapt to a certain style while still applying something different, while adding other styles that you learn along the way. I guess it just becomes a huge hybrid mix of variety. And you can go to shophaskins.com to check out his schedule. And you can go even further at Mark Haskins Safe on Twitter. Mark_Haskins is his Twitter name. TNA Hall of Famer Sting appeared on Kentucky Sports Radio on WKJK AM 1080 in Louisville, Kentucky with host Matt Jones. .net member Jeremy Jamos 26. Moses sent the following recap. as Sting joined KSR in the 11 a.m. Eastern Time hour. His son Stephen Borden is a linebacker for the University of Kentucky. They hyped the TNA Impact taping in Louisville for July 18th and the TNA Baseball event in Lexington for the Saturday before the interview. Sting talked about his son's football career and noted he visited for UK spring games. And the host hyped baseball, and Sting said fans would see some of the best in a different setting. Jones asked about Summerversary match. Sting said that it's not so much about the world title for him now. He questioned if it was a step towards retirement. He said he didn't want to retire and then come back. And then Jones asked him if there was anyone Sting wished he could have wrestled. Sting gave the standard answer that he would like to wrestle Undertaker and also wish that he could have wrestled Shawn Michaels. A fan question in favorite match of all time, Clash of Champions 1 versus Ric Flair, Great American Bash 1990 versus Ric Flair, Starrcade 97 versus Hulk Hogan. He has seen he was asked if he has seen the wrestler, the movie. No, I haven't. I've seen it in bits and pieces. It showed the CD side. It's different now and more mainstream. There have been a lot of guys we've lost due to the drugs. We did compliment Mickey Rourke's performance, and they closed out with more hype for baseball. RVD was asked on Twitter why he did not re-sign with TNA, and he replied by commenting back to the person who asked, and that's Angel Mace at L Camino 86, and the real RVD at NEKAP, what made you want to leave TNA? And he comments back. And he's also scheduled to make his WWE return at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Here's what he said. What made you want to leave TNA? Is the contract expired? Nothing more. And other than, he said, so did professionalism, courtesy, and respect. So I explained that to TNA. June 20th episode of Impact Wrestling started out with a video from earlier in the day. It shows Sting walking down a ramp outside the arena. He walked past cameras and continued on his way. A video plays showcasing the Bound for Glory series. It shows the past stars that have been involved over the past 2 years. This is the third year. 12 men enter, but only one man will win it all. Bobby Roode won the first, and Jeff Hardy won the second. He went on to become the TNA World Champion, who will go on to Bound for Glory and fight for the TNA World Championship. This will change someone's life. In my prediction, I would go with AJ Styles this year. That way he could get back into the title picture. Because his last attempt, he lost, and the stipulation was he would never face for the title again. I believe that's only a stipulation versus one particular person. The camera showed the arena, and the place was packed. The crowd was on their feet. They were all cheering. The stars are shown in the ring. 10 of the 12 men are already in the ring. These 10 men are in the Bound for Glory series. Double H Hulk Hogan's music plays, and here comes the Hulkster. He plays the fake guitar and does his taunts to get the crowd pumped up. He has a mic in his hand, and the music stops. He wants to welcome all the Impact Maniacs to the Bound for Glory series. Although tonight is open fight night right now, he wants to bring 2 men out who already qualified because of their past victories. He introduces the person who won the 2011 series and went on to be the longest reigning champion in TNA history. And it's none other than Bobby Roode. Roode came out and walking slowly past Hogan. He continued to go down the ramp. Other men he wanted to bring out is the 2012 series winner, and he went on to become the TNA World Champion. And here comes Jeff Hardy. Jeff's music plays, and here he comes. He shakes a hand to Hulk and continues his way down the ramp. The crowd goes does a very good pop for Jeff, and Hulk says tonight is the kickoff of Battle for Glory series. Each man can fight tonight, as it is open fight night. The first call out is either between Rude or Hardy, as the fans got to vote for on the TNA website. The person who wins the vote is Hardy. Who is he calling out? Jeff grabs the mic as the other participants stand around him. Austin Aries grabs the mic and tells him to hold on. Austin wants to be the man who Jeff calls out first, and we know that won't happen though. Jeff may be the most popular person in this company, but there is one person who has a fan base every place that they go, and that is Aries. Well, Daniels interrupts and grabs the mic and tells Aries that he has a point. Maybe he should call out Aries or Park or Magnus. He shouldn't be calling out either member of Bad Influence. If he did, he would start with a demoralizing defeat of his career, and Jeff said that they are all great. But someone made it personal last week, and that was Bobby Roode. And so he calls him out. Roode steps forward and pushes Hardy. Hardy goes to push back, but Samoa Joe's going to kill you, got involved and pushes Roode back. And the melee happens. Just then, every member got involved, and there was a huge brawl between them all. They exit the ring and then enter back in. Chaos. I know that's not from the Get Smart series. As they go to commercial, the show returns and a video replay shows the huge brawl that just happened before the break. A graphic shows the point system for the Battle for Glory series. Submission gets 10 points and pinfall gets 7, and so on. Aces and Aces music plays. Here comes Mr. Anderson. Here he comes through the crowd and gets in the ring. He grabs the mic and says that this is open fight night and the start of Battle for Glory series. He gets to call someone out. Ladies and gentlemen, this asshole has a gun. Come out, Joseph Park. As Park's music plays, and here comes Joseph. He gets in the ring. So you get the first match. Mr. Anderson versus Joseph Park in the Battle for Glory series. Obviously, much of a squash match in my point of view. Of course, Mr. Anderson won. The bell sounded, and Anderson steps forward, and so does Park. They go to lock up, but Anderson goes behind and hits him on the head to bully him. Ken laughs, and then he puts his head down for Park to apply a headlock. He does, but Ken twists out of it and then trips Park. He falls, gets up, and holds his face. Ken bends forward and tells him to do another headlock. He does, but Ken slides out and does an arm lock. Park switches out of it and applies a headlock and an arm lock, and then takes Ken up from behind and takes him down on the mat. He hits his head on his head, and as the crowd pops, Ken got up and does a drop kick to Park's leg. He falls. Ken hits Park's face and steps on his hand. He puts him in the corner and continues to punch him in the face. Ken puts him into the opposing corner. He runs at Park, but Park moves and does a roll up. He kicks out, but both get up, and Ken does a neck breaker. He covers Park, but Park kicks out. Anderson applies a headlock, and Park gets up and elbows his way out of it. He goes to run, but Ken whips his head back to the mat. Anderson climbs to the corner. He does a swanton, but Park moved out of the way. Both get up, and Park punches Ken in the head and whips him into the ropes. He does a back body drop. He hits him with a clothesline. Ken goes to the corner. Park runs to him, but Ken moved, and Ken lifted him up on his shoulders, but he was too heavy. Park takes the legs out from underneath Mr. Anderson. He does a Boston Crab. Just then, Doc enters the area and distracts the referee and Park. Ken does a roll up, but Park kicks out. Doc leaves the area. Both get up, and Park does a body slam and then climbs to the corner, and Doc comes back and kicks Doc in the back. Park falls down off the corner. Ken plants him to the mat and gets the win. And by pinfall, Mr. Anderson gets 7 points. BFG members are backstage. All are warming up and are focusing on who might be called out next. AJ Styles is seen on the side, and he just stands there. Who will fight next? As they go to commercial. Ace and Ace backstage. Mr. Anderson said he did what he said he was going to do just then. Doc asked what Ken is talking about. He said Ken stayed back for 8 minutes. Doc thinks he should be VP. Bully gets in the middle and says that they have been arguing for 2 weeks. What is going on? He said they will vote on who should be the next VP. They have another thing to deal with, though, and is his wife. The members are stare at Bully Ray, and then we cut to Jay Bradley already in the ring with a microphone. He says he is going to make this real simple. He has a little chip on his shoulder. This guy was the champion last year, and that is Austin Aries. Come on out here, Aries, as his music plays and he gets the ring. Jay Bradley versus a double in a Battle Royal Series match. Jay runs up to Aries, but Aries sidesteps and Jay goes out of the ring. Aries goes to the top rope and jumps down on him. He brings Jay in and does a springboard over the rope and lands on Jay's back. Aries applies a front headlock, but Jay brings him to the corner and then kicks Aries in the face. Austin falls to the outside. He gets back in, and Jay continues the attack, and he takes Aries down and covers him only for a kick out. Jay kicked him and then applied many elbow drops. He covered, but Aries kicked out again. Jay was waiting and got the boomstick. Jay has Aries in the corner, punches him, and does a hip toss. He waits. Aries goes in the corner. Jay runs to him for a big boot, but a double ducks, and Jay's foot gets stuck on the top rope. And a double kicks Jay's other leg and then puts him in the corner as he throws himself into Jay and continues with the kick. He climbs the corner and does a missile drop kick to Jay. Jay goes for another corner. Aries runs to him, but Jay hits him with a big boot. Jay went for the boomstick, but Aries hits Jay. And he fights back, but Jay lifted Aries up and did a backbreaker, went for the finisher again, but Aries ducked and hit the crucifix. Jay went to the corner. Aries does a running drop kick to Jay and then brings him to the middle of the ring and delivers a brain buster pinfall. And A-Double picks up 7 points for the Battle Royal Series. Video plays of Aces and Eights attacking Sting during his anniversary as Ray retained his title. Aces are family, but Sting needs his family now to destroy Aces. He needs the new main event mafia, as he says. They will rise, and Aces will fall. Sting is walking backstage. The cameraman asks him about his agenda tonight. Sting says he is going to have a sit down. The MEM will rise, and tonight it grows. And they go to commercial, and they back to commercial, and Sting is backstage in the dark area. He said it is about brotherhood and family. Are you in? The person shakes Sting's hand. The person is in the darkness. As Sting says that they can take down Aces. As Chavo and Hernandez are backstage. Chavo gets Hernandez pumped up. He says he can do this tonight. And go get him. Hernandez music plays and he comes to the ring. He grabs the mic and says, out of all the members in the Battle Royal Series, and one person annoys him constantly. Here's a loud mouth. Come on out, Daniels. Hernandez can kick your ass. Daniels' music plays as he struts to the ring. So we get another Battle Royal Series match. Hernandez versus the fallen angel Christopher Daniels. Daniels runs to Hernandez and takes out Hernandez's leg. He gets him up in the corner and punches and kicks. And Hernandez throws him down. He gets up and Hernandez puts him in the corner. And then does a belly type suplex. Both get up, and Daniels fights back with a rake to the eyes and then a punch to the face. Daniels runs in the ropes. Hernandez bends down, and Daniels kicks him in the chest. Daniels halts, but Hernandez lifts him up and does a military press. Hernandez puts Daniels in the corner. He runs to him, but Daniels lifts him up and over the ropes. Hernandez goes on the ramp and runs. He jumps over the ropes and takes Daniels down with a shoulder tackle. He gets Hernandez up, and goes for the power bomb, but Daniels gets out and grabs up on the ropes. Hernandez grabs him from behind, and Daniels low blows him without the referee seeing it. Hernandez falls, and Daniels climbs to the corner and hits the BME and gets the win. And 7 points to advance in the Battle Royal Series. Brooke Hogan was walking backstage. She will have a state of the knockouts division tonight. As they go to commercial, Kazarian is in the ring after a commercial break with a microphone. He says we witnessed the first bad influence win tonight, and we will witness another as Kaz calls out the person who people say, including Dixie, is the future of this business. Also, she says he is gorgeous. Come on out, mate, as Magnus walks to the ring. So we get Kazarian versus Magnus in another Bound for Glory series match. And we get Magnus and Kazarian quickly fighting as the bell sounds. Magnus tosses Kazarian out of the ring. Magnus goes to the outside of the ring. But Kazarian fights him from the outside. He gets in. He continues the offense as he takes to get Magnus down and covers. Magnus kicks out. Kazarian applies a headlock. Magnus gets up and punches his way out of it. Kaz kicks Magnus in the face, but he bounces off the ropes, spins around for a neck breaker. He applies the dragging sleeper. Magnus lifts his knee and hits Kaz in the face to get out of it, and he clotheslines Kaz several times. They go into the ropes. Magnus takes him down with a clothesline. He whips him in the ropes, but Kaz jumps on the ropes and flies back. Magnus catches him and does a suplex, and he covers, but Kaz puts his legs on the rope. He gets up in the corner. Magnus runs to him, and Kaz moves. Magnus goes into the corner. Kaz fires the corner. He goes for the missile drop kick, but Magnus blocks and locks Texas Clover Relief as Kazarian taps out. By submission, Magnus gets 10 points and advances in the Bound for Glory series. Hulk Hogan is walking backstage. He's on the phone. He talks about 3 guys and how it feels perfect. He gets off the phone, he turns and pushes Bully into the wall as he's coming up to him as he's walking right behind Hogan. Hogan says that they need to do this now. Hogan wants Ray to fight him. Ray says he doesn't want to. He wants to talk to Brooke. Hogan says she is done with him. They are done. Brooke asks Hulk why Brooke stopped him for hitting Ray in the head with the same hammer a few weeks back as Ray walks up while Hulk ponders as we get a commercial break. Well, Brooke, Hogan's music plays as she walks down the ramp. She gets in the ring and goes to the podium that is set up in the ring. Brooke wants to thank the Knockouts for what they have been doing recently. They have been talked about show after show, and that's great. Brooke says they have a hot summer, if you know what she means. But there are some points she wants to make. She wants the Knockouts to come out to the ring. Music hits, and here comes out ODB and Eric Young, the Knockout Tag Team Champions. Well, they have the Knockouts Tag Team titles momentarily. Next is Velvet Sky, Karen Terrell, and Gail Kim. Gail stops on the ramp and then gets into the ring. She guesses Mickie James needs a special introduction. Here is Mickie. Mickie's music plays, and she comes out. Mickie has a mic in her hand. She thanks Brooke for allowing her to speak on the address of the division. She brings up her music videos and songs. She is now going to be in a huge commercial. It is a full-time job being Mickie James. Carrying the division on Mickie's shoulders is easier than Sky's knee. Brooke says everyone is equal in this division, and it is not about one person. Brooke brings up Eric Young. The crowd pops, and he asks them if he remembers their conversion they had about a year and a half ago. EY says that they are all humans. They all make mistakes. If you want to get down to the meat of the potato, he is not a woman. And the crowd chants, no, no, no. EY doesn't know what that means. He then hands the tag titles to Brooke and says, it's National Kissing Day, as him and ODB kisses out in the segment. They fall on the mat and roll away off camera as Brooke moves on. So there is no tag team champions. The division is about competition. She congratulates Sky for what she has been through. Mickie says the division is injured and she can't fly. Brooke talks to Sky's doctor and she is able to compete. Sky versus Mickie will be next week. And Gail says Brooke is missing her as she is the best around. Brooke says Gail's match was one of the best ever and she will get her match at Las Vegas. It will be Gale versus Taryn in a ladder match. We'll conclude as they go to cut to the back, or actually cut to Taz and Mike. As they're shown, as they show Sting segments from earlier, whose hand did Sting shake. Hardy versus Rude is later advertised. Brooke and Hope are backstage, and Hope says Brooke did a great job tonight, but she has to go as Ray is making this look like a circus. And he's telling her to leave and go to the hotel. Brooke doesn't understand, as she is just doing her job. He says she did her job and can go. Brooke has to go in the car. As the driver drives off, they say they love each other as Hogan moves on. Just have a look. As they go to commercial, Jeff Hardy was getting ready for his match, and he is warming up backstage after a commercial break. A video then plays showing the TNA Always Evolve application. It's a workout app sponsored by that is Jeff Hardy's music to get you into shape. You know, whip it into shape. Move forward. I'm gonna go ahead with the show, and you can get it now. Music plays, and here comes AJ Styles, and AJ walks down the ramp and gets into the ring. The Titantron states, "No one," as AJ grabs the mic. The lights are dim. He states that this is real simple. It isn't about aces and eights. It is not about TNA. It's about him. It's about him becoming the next TNA World Champion. It is not for the fame or the glory. It's for the money. Everybody is looking for a hero. If he learned one thing in the past 11 years, this is no place for a hero. In case you missed it the first time, then hear it again. He is sick and tired of doing the right thing. He will do his own thing. Music hits, and here comes Samoa Joe. He makes his way to the ring, and we get the next Bound for Glory Series match. Samoa Joe versus AJ Styles. They move around in the ring. They lock up. Joe does a swinging kick. AJ moves. And AJ kicks Joe, and they go for more punches. AJ goes for one, but can't reach. Joe reaches AJ and punches him in the face. He goes back into the corner. Joe continues, but AJ gets out and puts Joe in the corner. He hits him and then applies a headlock. Checks to the center of the ring. Joe rolls around and get out of it, but AJ keeps it on. Joe lifts up AJ. What's he weigh? Maybe 202 pounds. But AJ rolled through. Joe was able to apply a head scissors. AJ got out of it, and they both get up, and Joe runs to him, but AJ kicks him and puts him in the corner. Does a knife edge chop, and then several punches. He whips him into the opposing corner, but Joe reverses it. Joe runs to him, but AJ kicks him and then takes him down with a clothesline. AJ gets up to his feet. He lifts him up and does a back suplex. AJ now kicks and stomps on Joe. AJ punches Joe in the corner, but Joe punches back. He whipped AJ into the corner. Joe ran to him, but AJ jumps over the ropes and landed on the apron. Joe kicked him in the face. Joe went for a suicide dive, but AJ gets in the ring. AJ jumps over the ropes and lands on the apron. Joe kicks the legs out from underneath AJ, and he falls flat on his face. AJ rolls in while Joe looks around on the outside as they go to commercial. And Joe has AJ on the mat. He does some chops to his back and then kicks to his chest. He jumps and plants a knee to his face. He covers, but AJ kicks out. They both get up and AJ fights back, but Joe hits AJ with an elbow. He falls. Joe brings AJ up and headbutts him and then does several punches. He bounces off the ropes. AJ does a drop kick. Joe flies back outside of the ring. AJ runs and does a baseball slide. Joe falls. AJ gets out and brings Joe back in the ring. He jumps on the top rope, does a springboard flying forearm. He covers, but Joe kicks out. AJ goes to lift Joe up for a suplex, but Joe blocked him and lifted AJ up. AJ landed on his feet behind him. He ran in the ropes and does a drop kick to Joe's leg, and Joe falls. AJ covered, but Samoa Joe kicked out. AJ went to the corner and climbed. Joe ran up to him, but AJ jumped down. Both running into each other, but Joe grabbed him for a scoop power slam. All of a sudden, Joe applied a cross-arm breaker. AJ's feet reaches the ropes. AJ up in the corner. His arm is hurting. Joe lifts AJ on the top corner, but AJ punches Joe, and Joe does a chop. He climbs and goes for a superplex, but AJ moves and lands right down on Joe. Both are down now. As the referee gets up, starts his 10 count, he gets up to 6, 7, and 8. Both are up. AJ punches Joe and kicks him, and he does several hits, but Joe does a big punch and then punches AJ in the face and has him in the corner. AJ goes down and rolls Joe up. He applies a calf killer. Joe reverses and has a submission sleeper. AJ gets out of it, and Joe's shoulders are down. He kicks out, and there's 1 minute left in the time limit. Both get up, and AJ punches Joe in the face. Joe punches back with multiple punches and does knees. Both go back and forth. Joe takes AJ down and tries to get his shoulders down. Joe goes for a half Nelson, but the match ends in a double countout. Both get 2 points. A draw, and both get 2 points. Joe gets to his knees, but AJ punches Joe in the face. The fight continues, and the referee has to pull him away. AJ got up, and his nose is bleeding. Joe got to his feet and raises his arms. AJ gets out of the ring and walks away. Bully Ray is on the phone. He's asking where a person is. The person says that they left. Who is it? It's Brooke. Bully wants to talk to Brooke. He tells her to turn the car around. He wants to talk to her. He ends the call and tells Aces that she is coming back. He tells 2 members to get on the bikes and make sure Brooke comes back while the others watches Ray's back. Commercial break. Double H is backstage with Double K. And that's King. Suicide and Chris Sabin. Hope says social media is all over the X Division match next week. Also, the person who is champion will get to decide if they want to challenge Bully Ray for the TNA World title on July 18th. The champion will cash in on the title for that opportunity. Hope leaves and Kenny starts to get all cocky and he thinks he will get the title next week. Bobby Roode's music plays and he comes to the ring. Jeff comes out on stage and he comes out to his music. Rude gets out of the ring and runs to him. Jeff punches him and Rude goes back. Jeff tosses Rude back in the ring and he gets in and we get the match officially starting for the Battle Royal Series. Jeff continues the offense as he has Rude in the corner. He whips in the corner. Jeff does a Hurricane Runner and then takes Rude down after he gets up. Jeff goes for the sharpshooter, but Rude takes Jeff down and applies the crossface. Jeff reaches and grabs the ropes. Rude gets up and stomps on Jeff. Jeff grabs his legs and does the catapult. Jeff goes right into the rope first. He falls to the outside. Rude gets out and attacks Jeff. He rolls Jeff back in the ring. Rude stomps on Jeff again, and he gets back to his feet. Rude lifts him up and hits a suplex. Rude jumps up and drops a knee to the head and chest. He covers Jeff, but he kicks out. Jeff crawls to the corner. Rude stomps on Jeff some more, and he gets him up and takes him face first into the top turnbuckle. Rude punches Jeff and then does a knife edge chop. He whips him into the opposing corner. He runs and smashes Jeff. Rude punches Jeff in the corner and he whips him into the opposing corner. Rude runs to him, but Jeff elbows him and then kicks him down. Jeff climbs to the corner, drops down, and hits a splash. He covers, but Rude kicked out at 2, and Rude whips Jeff in the corner. Jeff floats up, but Rude catches him, and Jeff slides him behind and takes Rude down. He drops his legs in between Rude, does a drop kick and a cover. Rude kicks out again. Jeff goes for a twist of fate, but Rude pushes him into the ropes. He comes back and Bobby does a spine buster and cover. Result 2 count. Rude gets up and waits. He gets Jeff up for a fisherman suplex, but Jeff blocked it and hits the twist of fate. Jeff takes his shirt off and climbs to the corner, goes for a swanton bomb, but Rude moves. Rude locks in the crossface. Jeff rolls back, has a cover, but Rude kicked out. Both got up after a little ducking. Jeff grabs Rude, hits the twist of fate again, and he covers and gets the pinfall victory for 7 points for their advance in the BFG series. Bully Ray's walking backstage. He has the TNA World title on his shoulder. He's coming to the ring, and Sting is walking backstage. The cameraman asks if he is leaving. He says no. He has family business to take care of. Sting has a smile on his face as they go to commercial. Ace of Base music plays. Here comes Bully Ray. He meets Taz and hugs him at ringside. Ray gets in the ring afterwards. He raises his title and grabs the mic. He wants the music to stop. And he says the Battle for Glory series is well underway. And next week, 3 guys from the X Division fight for an opportunity to fight Bully Ray. That is 15 guys who want Bully. Do you know who he is? He is Bully Ray, not Capzilla. And he will do anything and everything to keep his world title. Look at what he did to Hogan and Sting. The last thing you want to do is face Bully. It is open fight night and he wants to call out someone not to fight. So, at the end of the day, Bully is a lover, not a fighter. He wants to book Hogan out, his wife. Ray waits in the ring for her to come out. Come on, Brooke. He wants her right now. Just then, the music hits, and it is none other than main event Mafia music. Sting comes out on stage. He walks down the ramp and gets in the ring. He has his sunglasses on with his nice tailored suit. He grabs the mic, and the crowd is cheering. Sting does a woo! Sting realizes that there is no lone wolf that can take Aces and Ace down. That is why he went back to his family. Ray tells the crowd to shut up as they start to chant. They are all chanting a guy who lost to Ray. And Ray says, who cares about family? Ray beats Sting single-handedly. That is why Sting can't fight for the title again. Sting says he is right. He can get retribution tonight, though. Ray asks what Sting means. He has nothing in his tank. Sting turns around and takes his tie off. Ray can snap his fingers, and his family will come out here. Ray asks what he is doing. Sting takes his jacket off. Ray will snap his fingers. His brothers will come and snap Sting's neck. Sting starts to unbutton his shirt, and Ray snaps his fingers. He had enough. Aces starts coming out. Ray calls them out. They aren't coming, as they are all shown knocked out backstage. Sting throws a shirt into Ray's face. Ray takes his shirt off, and Sting points to the Titantron. The Aces are all out, knocked out. And nobody else was around. Sting punches Ray in the face, and he falls. Ray gets out of the ring and walks up the ramp. Ray turns, and Kurt Angle is on stage. We're waiting. He takes Ray down to a posse ankle lock. Ray is tapping. Sting gets in the face of Ray as he is crying. Angle releases the lock and stands over Ray as the show fades to end the program. So there's your second member of your main event Mafia. Same members so far for the next 2 weeks, as you will soon find out for June 27th episode from Peoria, Illinois. Full result. Spoilers. Thanks to B-Hack. First match, Suicide defeated Kenny King and Chris Sabin to become the new X Division champion. And we get Hulk Hogan announcing that the real Suicide had been attacked and a fake Suicide won the match. He ran off through the crowd. Adam O'Reilly defeated Brian Howe in a gut check match. Sting and Kurt Angle talked about how the main event Mafia would destroy Aces and Eight. Magnus defeated Bobby Roode in a Bound for Glory Series match to get him some more points. And Mickie James defended her title against Velvet Sky and retained the Knockouts title. Samoa Joe versus Mr. Anderson in the Bound for Glory Series match ended with Aces and Eights came out for the disqualification. Sting and Angle also came out, revealing Samoa Joe as the new main event Mafia member. Double H came out and wanted to know who the fake Suicide was. Bully Ray comes out and talks about having to face the X Division champion at Destination X. Austin Aries revealed himself to be the fake Suicide and tells Ray he's going to take the world title next. To end the spoilers for June 27th. Now we get the Family Wrestling Entertainment iPay-per-view FWE results with former TNA and WWE stars. Match number 1, P.D. Williams defeated Brian Kendrick as Kendrick appeared to have injured his neck very badly during the match. And former TNA Young Bucks defeated Jigsaw and Tony Nese, also from TNA. Jigsaw, by the way. Paul London, match number 3, defeated KO Yang. I guess that's Jimmy Wang Yang to retain the Tribal Championship. And Katarina and Angelina Love defeated Maria and Ivelisse, formerly of WWE. Match number 5, hardcore match. RVD versus Tommy Dreamer, and RVD won. Match number 6, John Morrison, using his real name, John Hennigan, defeated Carlito to win the FWE Heavyweight title. Well, congratulations to John Morrison. Match number 7, your main event. Tommy Dreamer won the Rumble match by eliminating Jay Lethal. The Sandman made a surprise entrance in it, as did Matt Striker, who just was recently released from WWE. Striker appeared to injure his elbow after being eliminated by Dreamer. A great show worth watching. Matt Striker cut a scathing promo before the show on WWE, including their commentary. He provided commentary up until he was injured and eliminated from the Rumble. And the credit goes for that report from Anthony Giovanoli and Pro Wrestling.net. And now, Ring of Honor spoilers for TV taping that was taped on June 23rd, 2013 from Baltimore, Maryland. The credit goes to F4WOnline.com. Episode number 1. CNC Wrestle Factory with Caprice Coleman and Cedric Alexander defeated John Silver and Alex Reynolds with the Leap of Faith top rope splash combo. Nigel McGuinness said Mark Briscoe was injured and thus could not compete in the cage match. Kevin's team wanted to be the replacement but got attacked by Scum members. Team Ring of Honor made the save. Mischief defeated Vita Scott with obliteration. Adam Page defeated Silas Young with the victory roll. And Ring of Honor TV title match, Matt Taven defeated Eddie Edwards. Episode number 2, Tommaso Ciampa defeated QT Marshall with running knee. Mike the Prodigy Bennett defeated a local worker in a squash match. Jay Briscoe promo about facing Matt Hardy. There was something stated that Matt Hardy arrived late at the end of one of the event tapings. And Ring of Honor Tag Team title match, Red Dragon defeated CNC Wrestling Factory. Episode number 3. Wow. Only 2 matches for that one. Roger Strong defeated Adam Cole by disqualification. And Ring of Honor World title match, Jay Briscoe defeated Matt Hardy to retain with a small package. And the 4th taping, American Wolves, that's Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards, defeated Mike Seidel. And the mystery partner with mystery man with a top rope double stomp from Richards. And a steel cage warfare match, Team Ring of Honor versus Team Scum, which Team Ring of Honor defeated Team Scum. And that concludes the results for this week for TNA taping, also FWE results, and as well as your TV for Ring of Honor spoilers. Thanks for viewing. Peace out.